NewGenGamers.com.
Well, they're now doing it. There's the demand is definitely there, and as more people play those types of games, they're bringing more and more of them to America.
Gambit was my favorite.
I did
Oh,
Gambit.
you did? Oh.
Yeah, I'm noticing, every single one has a different level. So you get 2 lives per character, and each character has a different level. So there's actually 5 different paths, and you have 2 lives with each character. So they really kept you with this game for a while. And if you failed, oh well, you still have 9 more lives to go. So
Like a cat.
it's kind of cool. They give you all those extra options, but I think we've seen pretty much all there is to see on this one. So I'm going to move on to a different game here. Alright, continuing on. This one's from Time Warner Interactive.
Who fortunately went out of video game design because they made a lot of crappy games.
Yeah, this one was a port of the Midway game Primal Rage. And here we go. You are a dinosaur. The world has been destroyed and the dinosaurs have re-risen.
Or an ape man. You can also be an ape.
Well, you can be an ape, yeah, and the apes fart. I'm just gonna take the red dinosaur. And each one has it's basically Mortal Kombat with dinosaurs.
Yeah, this is during the phase of
Everything must be a fighting game.
yeah, really. Street Fighter was really successful. Mortal Kombat did it just as well, and then every other developer decided that they should also make a fighting game because not so much that they could do it better, but that it could be done. And this is, kind of what you end up with. A lot of them aren't bad, but they're not really amazing.
There's nothing really that stands out.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
if anything is different and interesting about this one is you can eat the little people and get a little bit of health.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. It has a little kind of a comical overtone, as you were saying, that the apes will fart a cloud of gas that'll damage their opponent and things like that.
And I believe, it may not be in this version, but I know in the arcade version that the one monkey would pee on you.
Yeah,
So-
I'm guessing they probably
They
took
probably
that out
cut
of
that
this
out
one.
of the Super Nintendo version.
I'm thinking that they did. That's... Uh-oh.
Oh man.
Armadon wins.
Nah.
I did like this for a little while. I'm not a huge fighter fan, never was, but when I was little, I liked it a little bit because I was one of those young guys that loved dinosaurs, went through that phase.
This thing is kicking my ass. I'm gonna eat a
So
person.
for fans of dinosaurs, this is definitely worth checking out.
Fans of dinosaurs and fighters.
Yep. If you like both, I guess you can't go wrong.
Well, later, what kind of came out was Bloody Roar.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like a person that turned into kind of an animal form after you got maxed out.
Now this is Jeremy joining us now that was just speaking. We're having revolving video game expert guests during the Super NES era here.
Now, something else I think they might have taken out here is, because I've played the arcade port, or the arcade version of this, and I haven't really played much of the Super Nintendo version. So, I think they cut out the storyline of you take over the Earth. Like, it had a little map in the arcade version. But I haven't seen any indicators, because every time you defeat an opponent in the arcade version, you take over a part of the map.
Yeah, it could be.
It might have been just hardware issues, too.
Yeah, I mean, and limitations of, they obviously had to downgrade this to bring it home because the arcade version
Looks a lot crisper.
Yeah, it was pretty stunning for the time. It really it had a lot of cool effects, like the fart gas thing. Actually, was a pretty cool looking cloud, and I remember that distinctly. And you know, the blood splatters and everything. So maybe they
well,
just
another thing in the arcade
nerfed
version,
it all.
Yeah, it looks really nerfed because there it is.
There it is.
Okay, so you have to defeat 2.
Ooh, you got the hollows.
Okay, so that part is in the game. Now, one thing I did notice is in the arcade version, the dinosaurs actually look like they were stop-motion puppets.
Yeah, I remember that. Like it was almost as if they were claymation dolls that were filmed.
Yeah, exactly. And here they look kind of rendered somewhat.
Yeah, they look weird. They don't blend in with the background real well. So, definitely, if you want to check out the best version of this, get the arcade cabinet, if you can find one.
Well, you could also find it on the Midway Arcade Treasures 2 disc. That might be the best way to play it cheaply. I think it was available on all systems.
And I'm sure those Primal Rage cabinets are probably pretty tough and expensive to find by now.
And it goes on and on, you know, ad nauseum. Once you complete the world, you're the world conqueror.
Yeah. Well, what else can we say about the Super Nintendo? Now, I know one thing we haven't talked about is the internet capabilities of the Super Nintendo, which did not come to America. But in Japan, you could go on the BS Satellivision, or Satellaview service, and it was basically an add-on that connected to the bottom of your Super Nintendo into the little expansion slot on the bottom, and it would allow you to download some games that were never available, such as a 16-bit version of the original Legend of Zelda, Mario Excite Bike, and some other interesting Nintendo titles that never came to America and were never released in cartridge form and could only be acquired through the service.
What we did get, however, were some third-party online capabilities with it. The X-Band service that existed during that time, you could get online and actually play some of your friends over your dial-up internet connection.
Such as this game. This would be a great game to play on the X-Band. And the X-Band was really interesting because it was from another company, and they released it on both the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. And yeah, you plugged your phone line into it and dialed into your friend, basically a direct connection, and it would, I'm not sure exactly how it worked, but you know, essentially,
I think it basically worked up like dial-up internet.
Yeah, well, I mean the communications between the Super Nintendos.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea how that worked.
You know, it must have fooled the system into thinking one of the players was the second player or something.
Yeah,
and
yeah, if anybody knows, just put it in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. We are very curious about this, and unfortunately we weren't into, you know, we couldn't do that kind of gaming at our residences at that time.
I never had one. I don't think a whole lot of people did have them, but it put it out there, and it was, you know, out there.
It was available.
It was available,
and it, you know, it was, I think, decently affordable.
Yeah.
I think it was the phone bills that killed everybody.
Yeah, I would imagine. Hey, you know, long distance calls definitely wouldn't be very cool. Oh, look at him talking smack. He was like, "Yeah, bitch."
Primal Ray. Bigger. Better. Faster. Rage. Rage.
New Gen Gamers.